Good evening, everyone. I am Mark, your fat friend,
And I'm James, your black friend.
and this is the Fat and Black Connection.
Yes, where we talk about anything and everything. Well, as long as it's interesting to us.
And tonight we're going to be primarily sticking to right around one topic, because James, we haven't done a show in 2 weeks.
Yeah. Well, no.
Why is that? Why did we miss last week?
Oh, well, yeah, I was about to say, yeah. No, we missed last week because we were on a cruise ship and the internet was a little sketch.
Not for me personally. I upgraded, paid for that unlimited high speed Wi-Fi, so we could have done the show, but man, we were just having way too much fun. And I will tell you, I'm gonna put it out there. I am not drinking tonight.
No.
I had plenty on the ship, and we're gonna talk about it. But before we dive on into our cruise talk and some of the videos we put together from the cruise, first we have a huge announcement, and let's just get it out of the way at the top of the show. And we've got a very special trailer to play along with that. May 14th.
Yes, sir.
At 9 p.m. What was that? 6? What is 6?
No, I said 1, 4.
Oh, okay. One for culture. Okay, let's go. So May 14th.
Wow.
May 14th, 2023 at 9 p.m. on KNBC 95.1 FM in Carson City, or streaming live on 95.1 KNBC.org.
Yes,
or I think it's just KNBC.org.
KNBC. Yeah.
I'm sure Jimmy will correct me. Pop Culture Kaboom out there checking in. Great to have you here. So just since you're here, we'll get this out of the way as well. We have Murder by Garlic. It's a part of a series from the Jack R. Abbott, from the files of Jack R. Abbott.
That's correct.
And that is going to be premiering May 14th, 9 p.m. KMVC 95.1 in Carson City and KMVC.org. Should we give them the trailer?
I think we should give them the trailer.
You've seen the music trailer. Now it's going to have some audio to go with it. Here we go.
Yeah.
This is me, Jack R. Abbott.
This is knowledge. The French Quarter, for Christ's sake. Come on, Jack, it's hell out here.
Mr. Abbott?
I understand you're looking to find a good story about murder. Something that might possibly stimulate that criminal mind of yours just came my way.
Can I gather all the tenants together and pray?
Damn, Amelia. Kill her!
I'll be careful this time.
I knew you could do it.
Just like an old pro, huh?
You girls in berserkly for a fling after you check this place out, or can anyone join the party?
What's going on, Jack? Bonnie Brown has killed several dozen bad guys, and her partner a few dozen more.
Come on, Bunny. Last night you said you were built for action. I want to see what you got. Let's disappear in the bedroom.
Let's get out of here.
The boss is gonna be pissed.
I know. Murder by Garlic.
And as Pop Culture Kaboom called out, this will be premiering right after Pop Culture Kaboom radio show.
Yeah.
So Sunday, May 14th.
May 14th.
So I'm excited. We'll probably play the trailer one more time at some point later in the show for those of you that might have missed it. But it's a lot of fun. The trailer, I think, doesn't do the show justice. It was interesting making that trailer because there were so many other ways I could have gone with it. As I'm like sitting there, going through, I'm like, oh man, I could make this thing totally raunchy. And hit me up to be on before the premiere. Well, yes, we would love to, or I can't speak to James, but James did direct this fine product.
It was a good time. Good time.
And of course, produced by 97 to Now Productions.
Yes.
And so, we're very happy with the outcome, I think. And I believe it just finalized. You just finalized the final recording to say yes.
Yeah,
we're good, right?
Yep, sure did.
Tyrus would have liked more dog farts.
Yeah, actually, that's when we originally talked about setting it up. I was like, "Yo, just put a dog fart at the end. That would be."
Yeah, I thought about it, but
I actually the way it ends is perfect though. I think everything is good.
Yeah, let's let the audience come to the premiere,
Yeah,
and they should come before the premiere to listen to Pop Culture Kaboom.
that's correct. That is
Great.
that's a fun show, man. Like if you
Yes, no, I love Jimmy's show. I enjoy listening to it on the reg, if you will. But and my wife is inquiring about so Tyrus, for my birthday, he went above and beyond. He gave me a wristwatch,
yeah.
as well as a bottle of Johnny Walker. And I was going to drink it tonight, but again, as we'll discuss further when we get more into the cruise, I don't feel like drinking tonight. I also kind of still feel like I'm at sea. I don't know if you're getting that, where you kind of like get the rocking sensation a little bit.
No, I like we talked about that earlier today, and I mean I felt it yesterday, but I'm pretty much back to normal now.
Good for you. I'm mostly, but occasionally, like, because I mostly sit all day while I'm working and stuff.
Oh yeah, so the chair, like you just rock back in the chair, you're like, oh.
Well, and then when I get up, it's almost the worst because it's like, oh snap, like.
Bro, I'll tell you right now, when we get into it, I'll just explain, like, I'll just give you a little thing now. Like drinking and then with the boat rocking, it was kind of like, wait, is that my drunk or is this the ship? Or is it a combination of both? And I think it's probably most likely a combination of both.
Yeah, little A, little B. And yes, still got those sea legs on. They were nice when we were at sea because I felt calm and
you know what? Like I think and like I said, we'll get into it. I think it was one of the things is that we were in deeper water. Like the last time I went on a cruise, we were in the Caribbean. It's deep enough for the ships, but it's not super deep. So you're not all over the place. But I think going through the Pacific, it got rocky out there.
For sure. It was
actually they had to cancel a show. They had to cancel one of the shows while we were on.
They did indeed. It was unsafe for the performers.
Mm-hmm.
And Tyrus evidently has a new schedule at work. I feel like you just got a new schedule, so that's crazy. So I think what we should do is just start diving in
let's go.
to the cruise. And we're going to set it up. I've went ahead and made some videos from our adventures. This first one is on the longer side. It basically is from the start of our trip, from our flights into Seattle, and it's really just going to cover the time in Seattle. So it's a little bit on the longer side, but the rest of the videos are going to be a little bit shorter. And when we come back from this first video, we will talk about the stuff that happened in said video. So enjoy Seattle. I love that picture of me just at the very end with the little melons on my eyes. I didn't even know that they took that photo of me. Tyrus took that photo, I guess.
I didn't know he went with you.
No, so well, let's just get into it. So let's start at the start. Flew into Seattle on Thursday, April 13th.
Something like that.
Man, it was a while ago.
Yeah.
We met at the airport. You, me, my wife, Tyrus.
Yep.
We met up. We got our luggage. We talked about it a couple weeks ago. Things went sideways with our transport and our hotel room. But we got out into the city and we had some fun.
Yeah.
We hit up the Mopop. Watching this video and seeing some of the imagery from the Mopop, it looked a lot more fun than what I recollect.
No, I mean, I tried to hit so much. There was like even a few exhibits I missed completely that I kind of wanted to see. But overall, it's not a well laid out museum.
No, Museum of Pop Culture, Mopop.
Yeah, let's just put that out there. It's not a very well laid out museum, but the stuff that I was more interested in was, I guess, in the downstairs part, which was like all the movie memorabilia, even the horror stuff. I'm not really a horror movie fan, but I still kind of liked going down there and seeing it. But like the sci-fi stuff, and the fantasy stuff was all pretty cool.
Yes, and we did make the mistake of when we ate after we checked into the hotel. We decided for whatever reason we would walk all the way to the Space Needle, which Tyrus says he will never walk from the pier to the Space Needle ever again.
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess it wasn't so bad. I didn't have that bad of a time with it, but I mean, I'm also not a little bit smaller than you guys, so.
Yeah, I remember you huffing and puffing, and Tyrus does finally admit and accept that he looked a bit like a homeless person. So that's
he told you, bro.
Oh man,
he's fitting in too well.
And my wife says that the hike wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
I think my wife was more annoyed with all of us like hooting and hollering as we were hiking up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Woo!
So we went to the Mopop, then we head over to the Space Needle and got a lot of fun shots up there and amazing views.
Yeah.
And then we came back down and headed to a drugstore because somebody needed something.
Yeah. Well, you had to get some lactate.
Yeah. Well, we got to ride the monorail, so that was kind of cool.
Monorail. Actually, I didn't realize how short. I mean, like it literally. I thought it would do a little bit more, but it just literally was like one stop, and it's like get off, and it's like kind of the downtown, their downtown district, and then goes there. I guess is that they call it, at least when I was looking it up, it says like city center, which is like the Space Needle and stuff.
Yes. And then we headed back to the hotel, and we took the meandering long way, making our way through Pike's Place a little bit before heading back down to the hotel and catching a bite. And then day 2, we headed to Pike's Place first thing in the morning. I got me some king crab legs, which were amazing.
Yeah, they were pretty good. No,
I only got a half pound at $69.99 a pound. It was like
$69.99
a pound. Yes, $70 a pound.
Yeah, I had like one of the guys. He gave me some smoked salmon, which was actually.
Yeah, you gave me a little bit of that because Tyrus, for whatever reason, didn't want to eat it.
Well, because Tyrus doesn't eat fish, apparently.
Because once when he was a little lad, he bit onto a fish bone and
had a bone, and it choked on the fish bone.
Got a bone stuck in his throat.
No, don't get me wrong. That sucks, but
no, absolutely.
That absolutely sucks. I've had that happen before.
I'm just saying, you gotta like
get over it, bro.
Point, you're almost a 45-year-old man. It's time to try it again. And of course, Tyrus is upset that they weren't throwing fish.
I was upset by that too.
Well, and so here's the thing: there was a video. So a guy who was on the cruise with us, Chris Sebo, for those who know, he went with his family at the end of the cruise on the back end.
Oh,
and you have to actually order something for them to throw the fish.
Oh.
Yes. So you tell them, hey, I want, a halibut or whatever, and they'll grab it and then they throw it.
Oh.
The reason they weren't throwing is because nobody was ordering.
Oh, see, if they had told us we throw when you order, I'd have been like, oh, let me get a fish. I don't know.
And what, had it sent home?
I'd have been like, can I get a refund on this real quick? I just want a fish. I'm just kidding.
That's not cool.
I wouldn't have done that. I was like, wouldn't have got fish due to the fact that there was no place for me to cook it.
So you remember the morning though that when we went to Pike's Place, we had to walk because of construction way down the pier, and then we had to hike up over 100 stairs.
Yeah, that reminded me of Ohlone days.
Yeah, 100 stairs. I think it was 111 or 103. I can't remember.
I thought it was more. I thought it was more than that. I thought it was like one. I thought it was at least like 112, 113 or something like that.
Maybe it was 113. It was definitely no higher than that.
Yeah.
But either way, it was not an enjoyable way to start the day.
Again, could have been worse.
For sure, but I would have preferred to not hike like that first thing in the morning.
Well, that was also because there was just there was an absolute mess downtown. That they're downtown because they're doing all this construction, and it's an absolute mess down there right now.
Yeah, and after Pike's Place, we decided to come back down because we needed to head towards the aquarium, and we stopped off for some coffee at Pike's Place Coffee. Or Pike Street Coffee.
Yeah, because the line for the Starbucks. Oh man, we should have got a picture of that because that was insane. So like right there near Pike's Place, there's like the first Starbucks because apparently the real first Starbucks burnt down a while back. But so this is like the first Starbucks, and the line was like a good 2 blocks long. It was insane. It was like you can get coffee anyway. So we decided to go to a smaller coffee place. It looked like a hipster kind of joint.
Mm-hmm. Well, because there was also a print shop inside.
Yeah, the guy was sitting there. I was like, all right, but no, it was a lot. I mean, it was a nice little coffee place.
The coffee was good.
I don't drink coffee, so it's all good. But yeah, so
Tyra said it was good, and my wife said it was good, and I say it was good. So
therefore, then it's good. But yeah, no, it was. Then we just then it was more walking down. Actually, this time I was walking downstairs, which was
not as bad.
It's a nice, and I mean, it just like kind of, it's a real chill vibe. At least, mostly because it wasn't raining, I'm sure. But
well, and I had heard that the homeless problem in Seattle was almost as bad as San Francisco, and I didn't see it. I saw some. Don't get me wrong.
We had a couple, but not.
I didn't see no poo on the streets. I didn't see junkies strung out. Like again, there was a couple tweakers. One tweaker specifically that was yelling at Tyrus, "Don't touch me!"
I thought she was yelling at all of us, but
it's entirely possible. But Tyrus was the one engaging her.
A little bit. He wasn't actually really engaging. He was like keeping it to himself, but
he was low key engaging.
Yeah, he was low key engaging.
But we went to the aquarium, and as you saw, a lot of great photos from there. There was a lot to do there. It was a lot more than what I thought based on looking at the building.
Yeah, it looks really. I mean, it's not. Don't get me wrong. It's no Monterey Bay Aquarium, but it's definitely. It's very quaint.
Mm-hmm.
And it fits with what they're trying to do. It's perfect size.
Yeah, I thought it was great. It for what it was.
It was
great.
And most of the animals in there, they can't be released anyway. So it's like they're getting taken care of, and harbor seals and water weasels, aka sea otters. A lot of fish, a lot of different kinds of fish. The jellyfish thing was pretty dope. I'm not gonna lie.
The jellyfish ring.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome. Apparently, so I didn't even realize this. I totally kind of forgot about this until I was looking at the pictures of them. I forgot that octopus are active at night, not during the day.
Mm-hmm.
So that was kind of disappointing. But
James, what is a group of jellyfish called?
A group of jellyfish is called a smack. It's called a smack.
Yes, things we learned while at the aquarium.
Yeah.
And then we headed down to Ivar's to get some lunch.
Yeah. That was
Acres of Clams is what it's called. Ivar's Acres of Clams. And I, of course, had clam chowder.
again.
Hey man, that was some really good chowder.
Chowder.
And what did you have? I don't remember.
I think it was it was like the seafood salad or something like that.
That's right. You had a salad. Tyrus, for some reason, had a steak, if I remember correctly, and complained because it wasn't cooked great.
Yeah, but it was it was kind of a small-ish steak, right? I don't
Yeah,
know. Yeah. So,
but overall, the service was okay. They were training.
there was
There was a lot of training going on in Seattle. So,
well, I think it's because it's the start of the season, man. Like it's start of the cruise season and everything else. So they got a lot of new people coming in, a lot of new faces. So, we got a lot of trainees.
Yeah. So after we finished eating at Ivar's, we headed over to our Aragosa harbor tour.
Yeah.
Which was, it was. I was expecting them to like open that ship up at some point. It was a very slow, casual putt down to one end of the harbor, all the way back to the other end.
It was very much whatchamacallit, that blue and white fleet, Golden Gate, the one in the
the ones in San Francisco.
San Francisco. It was very much like that.
Yeah, agreed. It was nice. It was educational.
No, he gave you a lot of information. That's for sure.
Yeah, there was some good scenery to take in for sure. And again, enjoyable. It was relaxing. I spent a lot of the time
from the water was really nice. I will tell you that much.
It's definitely a lot nicer than walking up and down those hills. The cruise was a little over an hour. Came back into port, and then we headed to. We stopped by first. We stopped by the Wing Dome because we heard that the wings were good, and found out that there was a wing challenge. So you decided to try the wing sauce, which I was surprised they let you. I wouldn't expect that to be a normal thing. So before we get into the wing challenge later, just try to recall when you just sampled it on the celery stick.
Yeah, it wasn't that bad. I mean, it definitely was hot, but it wasn't that bad.
Was it? And I think I remember you saying it was more flavorful.
It was way more flavorful than the Hellfire, the Hellfire Wing Challenge. It was definitely way more. There was more flavor to it.
For sure. So then we headed to Miners Landing or whatever it is.
Yeah, Miners Landing.
Where there's the Seattle Wheel, which is a giant Ferris wheel. Yep. Wings over Washington, which I'll let you tell the story about that.
No. So we were waiting outside this building for I don't even know how long. It felt like forever. But we finally go in and they bring us into this room. And so we're sitting in there and we're like, all right, this is weird. But all of a sudden, like these videos start playing, and we're like, me and Mark look at each other, we're like, bro, did we really just pay for this? Like,
yeah, they have us sitting on these log benches watching this campy video of
this new park ranger or whatever, and he's it's like he's new on the job, and he's talking about kind of what goes on in the forest or whatever.
And then they have these cheap animatronic totems
that make noise and their eyes move, and it was super campy, and we were like, bruh, this can't be. And then as soon as that video's over, they have another set of doors open up, and then that's when you actually go to the ride, which is basically it's called Wings Over Washington, but it's basically like Soarin'. Because Soarin' changed its name to not Soarin' Over California anymore. It's just Soarin'. And so it's kind of like that, but it's just for Washington. Really, actually, it's not a bad video. They spray you quite a bit. Mark got a lot of spray. I was wearing my cap, so I got some, but not definitely as much as he did. But yeah, no, I mean, overall, I wouldn't pay that price again because I think it was like
$18, I think.
Yeah, it was something like $18, but it was cool for what it was. But yeah, it should have been maybe like $10 $10 would still be kind of high, but whatever. I know they got to make money.
Yeah, the only way I would do it again is if I was taking my kid.
And
Otherwise,
if somebody was, yeah, uh,
but the
yeah,
wheel, the
for the
Ferris
kid,
wheel, I would do again. And that I think was $17. That was pretty cool.
yeah.
I mean, it's a Ferris wheel, but it wasn't like just 2 passes and you're done. It
No,
was
you were on there for a minute, so
yeah. So that was nice. Once we finished up at Miner's Landing, it was time for the wing challenge, which if you haven't watched the video, I did live stream it.
yeah.
So you can go back and watch that on our page, our Facebook page. But James did complete the wing challenge
Sure did.
in dang near record time, I think, because you crushed them.
Yeah, yeah. That
So
actually,
how was
yeah.
it?
So like it started off okay, and then it just went south quick. Like I mean, like just because I didn't realize because I did let them cool a little bit when that was something that I learned from the very first challenge that I did. They were still pretty hot, but like yeah, I just wanted to get through it, and the problem was is that I got through it, and then I had to wait. Because I finished, I don't remember what I don't even remember what time I finished it in.
So
It was
you had to finish them within 7 minutes, and I think you finished them in around 4.5 minutes.
yeah. So I mean, like, so I had to wait.
It was 7 wings, 7 alarm
Yeah, there's seven.
sauce.
So 7 wings, 7 alarms, 7 alarm sauce, 7 wings, 7 minutes, and so yeah, and you couldn't have anything to drink. You had to like lick your fingers, all that kind of stuff, which is I guess standard. But yeah, it wasn't pretty. It was not. I mean, like
No, you were sweating. You had the snottle rolling. Your
yeah,
eyes were.
I was yeah, it was bad. It was it was bad. But yeah, no, I completed it and then my stomach said, "Oh, okay, I got something for you." And yeah, that wasn't that part was oh, the aftermath was not pretty.
So I wonder what people's philosophies are, and those of you that are still joining us and the millions around the world right now. What do you think? If you yak within, let's say, 30 minutes, does that DQ you? Because to me, and again, I'm not the one doing the challenge, but I feel like if you can't keep it down for more than 30 minutes, did you really complete the challenge?
I mean, you did what you had to do.
I guess I don't know, but yes, you were in the bathroom for quite some time
Yeah,
to the point where I had to send Tyrus to go check on you.
it was bad. It was real bad. It was bad.
And for some reason, you decided rather than using the toilet that you were going to vacate your intestines into the sink. Why was that?
Just because somebody was like when I went in there, the bathroom was someone was in the stall.
Yes, but by the time I came in there to use the restroom.
Yeah, I should have gone in there at that point, but I'd already committed.
Gotcha. So yes, needless to say, you were kind of not feeling great the rest of the day.
No, I mean, like after everything was kind of gone, it was like I felt way better, but it was just like, oh, it was mm-mm.
And luckily for me, that's where we had dinner as well. So pretty much after that, we headed back to the hotel. And did we even do anything after that? Or-
Not really. We I know. Oh, actually, it was so. I was like, yo, I don't want to. I need like Mark was like, you need a Gatorade, and I was like, bro, I'm not trying to pay hotel prices for a Gatorade. Like, it's no. And then they were like, get one or whatever. And so I was like, all right, fine, whatever. I grabbed a Gatorade, and I took it up to the counter, and the lady was like, I guess Mark was explaining what happened. Is she was like, oh no, that's on me. You go ahead and have that. And I was like, oh, all right, cool.
Yes, and then you were pretty much out for the night because I remember we talked about going down to catch a drink that night, but I called about an hour later and
Tyrus was actually probably out. I mean, Tyrus was probably kind of out before me. No, well, not really sleep, but he was kind of lounging out before me. I just kind of got on the bed and I was kind of like,
yes. And then, of course, we awoke in the morning to see our beautiful ship, the Norwegian Bliss, had made dock overnight.
Yep.
I did wake up, and I didn't include it in the video, but I did wake up at like 1 a.m. Maybe it was 2 in the morning, somewhere in there. And I wanted to look outside to see if it was there yet, and it was not. But when I looked, there was just, as far as I could see to my left and to my right, just semis lining, getting ready to load up that ship.
Oh yeah, that's that's crazy. No, like yeah, no, when you kind of called and said the ship was there or sent a video of the ship, and we kind of looked out our window and it's like, yo, that is a big ass boat. That's a city. That is a city on the water, people.
Yes, indeed. So my wife and I, we had an early boarding, so we got up, we got ready, we'd packed most of our bags the night before, so headed over to the pier, and there was only like 5 or 6 people there before me, and I went to the area where you could drop off your luggage. They're like, "Oh no, we're not taking passenger luggage yet." Oh, okay. So I'm sitting there and I realized that all of the documents that I had printed out, I didn't have. I left them here at home. And so I was like, okay, crap. Let me try and bring up the boarding passes on the app. Could
And that's
not,
when you're like, the app is not working.
yes, could not get the app to work. So I told my wife, go back to the hotel, see if you can print them out there. Cause if I can't get them up on the phone, we're going to have a problem, right?
Yeah.
So ultimately, she goes back to the hotel. She's trying to pull it up, can't get it to come up. They start taking the luggage. Luckily, they didn't need to see anything to take the luggage. They just
Yeah.
trusted my name. So that was.
Well, they had well, did they check
They
the
didn't
list?
check my ID. I could have been
That's
bringing
true.
five bags of bombs. You know what I mean?
No,
Like,
well, I mean, they send them through a machine before they get on there.
I
anyways,
understand.
but
I'm just saying.
but yeah,
Like,
no, like when I went up, of course, because I had a little bit later check in. But like, yeah, they were like, do you have the purple tags?
no, because they never sent me luggage tags. One.
Oh,
And 2, the ones that I had printed out at home, I forgot at home.
right. No, I'm saying asking if you had, because like I know they had sent me some luggage tags, but I forgot them.
Oh, that's nice. They sent you luggage tags, but not me.
Yeah, I forgot them, but like it was cool because when I got to the ship, they were like, "Do you have the tags?" And I was like, "No, I forgot them at home." And he was like, "Cool, what's your name?" He found my name, and then boom, we were ready to go. So
Yeah, and that's what they did with me too.
Yeah.
They gave me tags right then and there.
yeah,
So then I went over to, or I asked the person when I dropped off the bags. I was like, "Hey, so I'm staying in the Haven. Where's the Haven check-in?" Because I had been told there was a separate check-in. And this woman's like, "Oh, hey, it's upstairs." Oh, okay, cool. So I go upstairs and there's no signage, no nothing. I'm standing there waiting, looking around, and finally this guy comes.
you mean
and,
at the stairs on the outside, right?
yeah. So
Okay.
this guy finally comes up and he's like, "Hey, can I help you?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm staying in the Haven. They told me to come over here." And he's like, "No, this is the convention center. You're gonna want to go down there." And I'm like, "Okay." So at that point, it was just like, I'm just gonna get into the normal line and figure it out as we go.
Yeah.
'Cause
So
because
later,
there was only like 5 people ahead of us.
right later, they actually had a person with a sign for Haven.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
I heard. So that was a little disappointing, but
Yeah.
it wasn't a big deal. We still got in really quickly. Then once we got through the first preliminary pass, we got ushered to the Haven section,
Ah.
which we had, a little continental breakfast, and right away you could tell probably what we were experiencing was different than what you were experiencing. And so, we got to sit down, have some coffee, relax. And then they called our number, and that's when, and in the video you saw, we got ushered onto the ship. Pretty much got a brief tour taken straight to our section to get our card scanned. Then they took us straight to the Haven, where we got to meet the concierge and meet some other folks, and then we got sent out into the observation area for the Haven and got to see that. And then they were like, "Oh, and by the way, your rooms are ready." So got to go straight to our room. As soon as we got to our room, the luggage was already there. So we were in our room 100% unpacked before you were even on the ship.
Oh,
So we decided,
impressive.
since we're on the ship and we're 100% unpacked, let's go eat. So we headed over to the Haven restaurant and decided to eat outside. Now, here's something I didn't know before that I wish I would have known, and that's that they charge tax
In port, yeah.
when you're in a port.
Yeah.
That was, and especially in Seattle where it's like 10.25%.
Yo, it is ridiculous how much the tax is out there.
Yeah, especially when the first drink that I got was a double Johnny Walker Blue, so the tax on that was $10.
Yeah, my man. I was like, oh, what? Like, yeah, I pretty much, once I found out there was tax, I tried not to drink in port, but it made it kind of difficult because,
Yeah, I just figured it. I just won't get any more double Johnny Walkers on the rocks while we're in port.
Yeah.
So yeah, then we had breakfast. We were sitting outside at the Haven restaurant, looking down at all of y'all getting checked in, which was nice. And I had already made an appointment to get my haircut and a shave,
Shave and a haircut,
which also happened before we even left port. So that was kind of nice.
I didn't realize it happened.
Yeah. So we didn't leave port until 5. I got my shave and a haircut at like 3.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, it was late when we left. That's true.
Yeah. So that was more or less that first kind of that kind of encapsulates Seattle for me. Anything else you want to add on for Seattle?
No, I mean, I think everything was cool. I mean, I had a good time there. I mean, I would want to, if I go, not saying I would like to go back, but I would like to go back once kind of this kind of street area is done, because it's a mess.
So you want to go back to Seattle just to go to Seattle?
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to go kind of just hang out, see it. Maybe like if there's a football game or something, or a baseball game at some point in time, maybe go during one of those seasons, go to a game, something.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Well, for those of you that might have came a little bit late, at the top of the show, we had a huge announcement that from the files of Jack R. Abbott, Murder by Garlic finally has a premiere date.
Yeah.
That is May 14th.
14.
At 9 p.m., right after Pop Culture Kaboom. And our dam is checking in. Thanks, Brian. It'll be on 95.1 KNVC or knvc.org. So you can live stream it as well if you're not in the Carson City area. But before we go into anything else, I think we should play the trailer one more time for the folks.
Hey, why not? Let's play it.
This is me, Jack R. Abbott.
This is knowledge. The French Quarter, for Christ's sake. Come on, Jack, it's hell out here.
Mr. Abbott?
I understand you're looking to find a good story about murder. Something that might possibly stimulate that criminal mind of yours just came my way.
Can I gather all the tenants together and pray?
Damn, Amelia. Kill her.
I'll be careful this time.
I knew you could do it.
Just like an old pro, huh?
You girls in Berserkly for a fling after you check this place out, or can anyone join the party?
What's going on, Jack? Bonnie Brown has killed several dozen bad guys, and her partner a few dozen more.
Come on, Bunny. Last night you said you were built for action. I want to see what you got. Let's disappear in the bedroom.
Let's get out of here.
The boss is gonna be pissed.
I know. Murder by Garlic.
All right.
Great trailer. All right. So next up, we left Seattle.
We were on the water.
And before we get into some of that, here's another fun video for y'all. This one is a little bit shorter.
That encapsulated like all the days.
Yes. So that was just a general like here's
Yeah, when we were moving.
Yes. When we weren't in a port.
Yeah.
Let's start at the end of that video, shall we?
Oh man.
So so the biggest mistake that I think we made was waiting until the last full day to go check out the beer house.
Yeah, because I don't know. For me, for some reason, I thought that was more of a restaurant, not a beer place, and so I don't know. Yeah, that messed me up. So that was my fault for not even really thinking about it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's not just yours. It's, so ultimately what ended up happening was there was a beer tasting event happening at the beer house. And you told me about it. And I was like, I think you said it was $20. And I was like, I get 40% off. So, okay, I'll go. Why not? I figured there'd be a flight, which there was. It was a flight of 4 beers.
It was,
which was extremely disappointing because one of them was a Corona.
Yeah.
One of them was a Guinness.
Yeah.
The only one that was actually in any way, shape, or form worth it was the first one. The only thing that made the entire thing worth it was the education.
Yeah.
There was a lot of good information to learn about beer, and that was enjoyable. But the best part was what followed after.
Yeah.
Where we looked and they had about 40 beers just in cans and bottles.
Yeah.
So we decided to start drinking through them. To the point where we got through, between the 4 of us, you, me, Tyrus, and your buddy, Andy, who was a part of our group, we got through 27 of the cans and bottles. Plus, we had some draft stuff.
Yeah.
And that was all in a matter of about 2 hours.
Yeah. Yeah. That was fairly quick.
Yeah. Yeah. That was fun.
No, it was a good time.
We were impartial. We drank everything. We drank the crap, the Bud Lights.
Yep. Yeah, we actually started with stuff we hadn't had, and then Mark was like, might just go through the rest, and I was like, all right.
Well, it was more like we're just like picking stuff at random, and it's like I knew we were gonna get buzzed, and it was like it's just easier if we start at one and work our way through.
Yeah, and so then it was just like whatever, get the other stuff too.
Yeah. So, needless to say, it was a very fun experience.
Yeah.
But I wish we had done that on day 1, so that we could have actually gotten through everything.
Yeah. But because there was stuff that was gone by the time we got there, so yeah, it would have been next time.
Yeah, next time, day 1.
Yeah.
So
maybe half, and then we'll do the other half later.
No, do it all in day 1. So what you do is you do the bottles and cans one day, and then you come back like 2 or 3 days later and you do the draft.
I actually, you know what, like thinking about it too, is that the drafts was something. I mean, because they had a place called Sugar Cane, which was a mojito bar, and I worked my way through that entire menu, and I started working my way through it again, but I was like, nah. I went through it once, then I just had the kind of mojitos that I liked. They had this jalapeno cucumber mojito, delicious.
Which I was the first one to have one of those because one night after karaoke we decided
he was closing and that they were closing down, and they served us anyways, and we became, or at least I know for me, the bartender at that place, every time he saw me, he was like, got you, what do you want, which one do you want? So he was other people would be there, be like, you, what do you want?
Yeah. And that's, I will say I had the jalapeno cucumber, and I'm not a jalapeno guy at all, but I was like, oh, okay. I was buzzed. So let's go. What would you say was your drink of choice on the ship? Did you have a standard, or were you just having whatever?
I had a lot of mojitos. I did like they were just very refreshing. That and Blue Moon, which is normally my go-to. I did quite a few rum and cokes, which I don't normally drink, but I was like, yo, I already paid for it, so why not? Uh,
Yeah.
I had some of those, and then like there was just times when I was like, yo, I just needed to pick me up, so I'd just be like, yo, let me just get a can of Coke, So I just have some soda every once in a while just to kind of ease off the drinks, and then but yeah, so it was a lot of there was like I said a lot of Blue Moon, um, a lot of the mojitos. Like I said, I did a good number of those. Uh, we did some shots at karaoke and things like that. So it was just kind of like, well, whatever's kind of going on.
So speaking of karaoke, they had karaoke every night
Yeah.
while we were on board. It was interesting because it wasn't the same time. Some nights it was at 11, some nights it was at 11:30, some nights it was at 10, some
Was it that?
nights
It felt like it always felt like it was around 10 o'clock. It never really felt like it was like 11.
I don't know.
It felt like I think it ended like around 11 something, but
maybe it just felt very inconsistent, and you never knew when the show was coming to an end until it was over. Because like there was one night where it went late. I think it was supposed to end at like 11:30, and it went to like 12:15. So I don't know. It was. I will say the host was very frustrating to me, having been a karaoke host for a number of years.
well, it was just the one guy. There was like they had a couple different hosts like throughout the entire thing. There was like, but the one guy that was there most of the time, he would like tell you the song that the person was singing when he introduced them, and it's like, yo, just you don't need all that.
And my bigger frustration ultimately was a lack of true rotation.
Oh yeah, that too.
He was just putting people up as they were coming. So like, normally you have a rotation, and when you come back to the top, the rotation goes again. And it was frustrating because one night you went first and I was like 2 behind you, and then you came up again and I didn't come up for quite a while again.
And they had and there was one night when there was a lot more people there, and so it was like normally we'd been able to at least sing like 2 songs, and that night we were only able to sing 1 just because there was so many people. But that's okay. But it was just like, it was that was a little frustrating. But
I think I would have, because I had always heard that they did the karaoke down in the atrium.
Well, so actually, they didn't always do it down there. They didn't. There was one night, I think. Was that in? I think we were in Victoria, and I was walking through, and they had band karaoke. So you were singing with the band, which was kind of cool. Because that would have been nice if they had that kind of a couple more times. That would have been pretty dope. But yeah, no, I did see that one night. So it was playing with the band they had on the ship.
So we did karaoke quite a bit. I went to the spa a number of times, which was nice and relaxing. And one of the coolest spots of the spa is the therapy pool, where it's just a big pool. But as I was there and talking to other people that were using it and understanding how to actually use it properly, it was quite enjoyable. Especially, I don't know if you knew, but the waterfall thing in the middle of the therapy pool, you're supposed to stand on it and let it hit you like on your shoulders, and oh man, it does wonders.
Oh no, it does. And like the little there's like a few jets throughout the thing that actually hit you in different spots. It's crazy.
Yeah. So the spa definitely it was included in my room, but
it's like a hot tub pool. It's like a warm pool and a hot tub all mixed in one.
Yeah. Jacuzzi.
Oh, jacuzzi, yeah.
Yes, it was. So I enjoyed it. The snow room was cool. The Himalayan salt room was cool. The steam bath was not for me. I did not like that whatsoever.
Just wasn't comfortable, or
it's just gross. Like I don't know.
It's a sauna.
But it's a sauna, but you're like wet, and I don't know. I just like I don't mind a sauna because
did they have a dry steam room too?
They had two, yeah. One that was infrared and one that was your standard.
Yeah.
But yeah, the spa was cool, on point. Again, I got shaving, a haircut, and a facial, and it was an experience. It was not just they threw me in a chair and like snip, snip, clip, clip, you're done, right? Like there was at least 5 steam masks put on my face with a bunch of different accoutrements, different things put on my face. It was enjoyable. I was falling asleep in that chair.
No, I remember I got my hair cut prior to going on the trip, and like I did the whole towel thing, and like, yeah, I was almost out.
Yeah. What else was on the ship that was kind of interesting?
The shows, they had a couple.
6 and Jersey Boys.
Yeah, 6. I probably don't need to see again. Like, don't even like the music is enjoyable. The women were fairly, the women were attractive in the show.
Because that's what matters.
Well, I'm just saying they were attractive. They could sing, so but the music, like the music itself, is pretty good. The show felt a little lacking. There were these awkward pauses that I was like, is that supposed to be there, or did somebody forget something? But Jersey Boys was very enjoyable.
Yeah, Jersey Boys was significantly better in my opinion. Obviously 2 different shows, but I think the book was really bad for 6. That needs to get an overhaul quickly.
It probably won't for
no, and yeah, Jersey Boys was quite enjoyable. There was also a Beatles tribute band.
It's funny watching these shows without an intermission, though. Like,
well, yeah,
like wait,
quick, like 1 hour and 15 minutes, in, out, get out. I didn't see the Beatles tribute band. Did you?
No, I'm not a huge Beatles fan. There's I like maybe 5 songs, so it was like. And it was always packed, at least when they were like, I know they played a couple times in the theater, so I don't know how packed those were, but I know when they were up in the cavern, it was pretty packed in there.
Well, the cavern's pretty small, so.
Yeah, I'm just saying, I was just like, I would just wait.
What else was fun on the ship?
Oh, you see, you didn't
food.
Yeah, the food was good. I think probably like my 3 favorite meals was the one that I ate with you guys in the Haven. That was awesome. And then there was the tomahawk steak we had at Cagney's, which I'm a little disappointed on your end because it didn't come out well, but mine was amazing. And the lamb shank that I had at the Manhattan Room, which was crazy.
It's interesting that you don't mention teppanyaki, which was, for me, I thought the food was
so. Here's a problem. Here's the only problem I had with teppanyaki was that I was already full because we had ate right before that. I kind of forgot that we were going to teppanyaki that night. Otherwise, I'd had a lighter meal. But yeah, I was already kind of full. Plus, like the chef cooking the food, he was amazing. The guy that was supposed to be our waiter was awful.
Not so much.
Yeah, he was pretty bad. And because we were like one of the last tables, but it was super lacking in there. So, but at all the other places, the buffet was pretty good. They had their moments. Like I said, the specialty restaurants were pretty darn good. Or not the specialty restaurants, the free dining restaurants were actually all pretty good.
Agreed. Well, I think next up is Juneau.
Yeah.
Yeah. Juneau.
Juneau.
So this was our first port of call, if you will.
Yep.
And the highlight of that port was obviously the tram.
Yeah.
Going up to the top and watching a interesting video.
Spectacular views up there too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
A video that you sat through twice.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was that good, huh?
It was that good. Now the first time I dozed off. The second time I was like, oh, I actually didn't really miss anything. So surprisingly, but no, it was a very interesting video. And actually, I was kind of glad that I went the second time because at the second time they did what was the tribe's name?
To Tlingit?
They did a Tlingit. The Tlingit. He called it like national anthem, but it was basically like the Tlingit national anthem with the traditional dance and stuff, which was pretty cool to see. I have that video. So I have videos, but they were like huge, so that's why I didn't send them to Mark. But I'll work on getting those up, so you can see that and some of the other videos as well as my zipline video too. So
just about everything you're seeing tonight, I pretty much made in the last 4 or so hours before the show.
Yeah. So with pictures and stuff like that, the video, like I was trying to get this stuff to Mark the past couple of days, but it was just like, why is this taking so long? And then when I finally figured it, I was like, oh, I just hooked my phone up and everything else. So yeah, we got some more stuff and we'll get it out to you guys.
Yeah. So when we went on the tram, we were actually one of the first groups to go up.
Mm-hmm.
So it was pretty empty up there.
Yeah.
We got to get through everything, take a look at everything pretty quickly. However, by the time we came, and I know you stayed up longer, but by the time we came back down, some of the stuff that my wife wanted to see was already closed. They rolled up the sidewalks early in Juneau.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Dang, I didn't realize that. Yeah, no, like I know. Yeah, I stayed up there a little bit extra just to kind of look around and get some more pictures. I was talking to some of the people that worked up there, just kind of finding out because I really want to know about Northern Lights, kind of with summertime. How is it like, light all day, or it's wintertime, is it dark all night, things like that. Just kind of just those, I guess, mainland questions that people have for people in Alaska. So
continental US problems.
Yeah. So I was like, they were real. I mean, they're super nice up there. I was asking them how they like all their, like, because I used to work for Pepsi, so I was like, man, like I was like, so wait, so like when you guys get resupplied, it has to come up on that tram, and I was like, yo, I mean, that might be. Oh, I don't know if I'd want to have to do that trip multiple times or whatnot, like in the same to get all my product up there, but. They got to do what they got to do, and so
I would suspect you'd probably just drop the product off to the station and they take it up themselves.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure. Like they didn't have anything that you had to really stock, so I'm sure it's like the beers and stuff. They just kind of load on there, and then they take it up and unload it and stuff like that. But yeah, it was a nice little restaurant up there, and yeah.
So you didn't actually get out into the city really that much.
No, I mean, because like I was kind of looking around. Like when I got back on the ship, I was kind of looking around. I was like, there's not really anything I really.
I was kind of surprised at how, and this isn't like to be mean, but how rinky-dink it really was, because that's the state capital of Alaska.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, like Carson City's not that big either.
Carson City is like at least 5 times larger than Juneau was.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm just saying, but it's like it's not like I thought. Again, it's like coming when you go to Sacramento, it's like it's pretty much like busy like until the weekend, and like so it's like, oh, this place is kind of dead. But and actually, it's funny because I was like, yo, where's their Capitol building? Because I was looking for the dome, like pretty much every other place has a dome. Theirs is literally just a building. Like a corporate office building that has like marble pillars or something in front. I was kind of reading up on it like after the fact, but I was like, but yeah, they were trying to raise money to move it further inland, and that failed, and trying to raise money for other stuff, and it was just like it was whatever. But yeah, so that Capitol building threw me off a little bit because it was I guess we saw it but didn't know it.
So next up was Skagway, if I remember correctly.
That is correct.
Here's Skagway. So in Skagway, it seemed to be a more bustling metropolitan than Juneau.
Yeah.
Which is not saying much because
No,
it was pretty rinky
small.
dink as well.
I guess I'm guessing like a lot of the towns are kind of small out there. I think Anchorage is like their biggest city, but we didn't go to Anchorage.
No, that's pretty far north.
Yeah. So, but yeah, no, I mean, actually, Skagway, we spent a lot of time. Skagway was like an all day thing. We were there for quite some time.
Did you have an excursion in Skagway?
No. Skagway, I purposely didn't because I knew that I was going to go to the Happy Ending Saloon, which was right next door to the Morningwood Hotel. But yeah, no, we went over there, had some beers. Wait, yo, what was that? The cinnamon sugar thing called?
A Doughboy.
Is that what it is? I thought it had some other name to it. I know the place was Doughboy, but I thought, oh yeah, it was. Yeah, I would guess that's what it's called. They had a couple of names for it at other places as well. But yo, that was amazing.
Yes, it was.
And actually, at the Doughboy place, I actually bought.
They also call it Alaskan fry bread.
That's what it was. The Alaskan fry bread. That's what that's the name I couldn't remember. But yo, like they had. I bought some summer sausage that they had at the Doughboy place, and it was a caribou summer sausage. Not all caribou, unfortunately. There was reindeer, hot and spicy reindeer, and a buffalo summer sausage. So I had the caribou and I had the reindeer with that mustard that I got from your guys' room. Amazing, by the way.
And how was the reindeer and caribou?
It was actually, they were both very delicious, but it wasn't like, it's not like 100% of course, because it's like they had like, it was chicken or not chicken, but beef and pork and that mixed in with it too. So
yeah. And in Skagway, I had an excursion where we rode the White Pass train. Which unfortunately was shortened. Normally it's like a 3-hour.
Yeah.
And it was shortened down to an hour. We only got to go to what they call the Clifton station. It was very nice. It was very scenic, but I would not do it again if it was only to there. And honestly, I don't know if I would do it again if it was the full one, just because, it was nice to be able to stand outside of the train car out on the little patio or whatever you want to call it. You didn't have to just stay in your seat. So that was nice. But yeah.
Because they offered like snacks and stuff on there too. Did they have that stuff or no?
There was bottled water.
Oh, that was no.
So we came back into town, and there was a part of a museum open in the downtown area, and so we checked that out. And then we went over to another museum on the other side of town where you were supposed to come meet us. And that had a lot of interesting things inside about the history of Skagway, and it's the City of Skagway Museum. And so that was kind of cool. And then while we were waiting for you, we called you to be like, where are you at? And you're like, oh yeah, by the way, I was going to tell you, but I'm not coming.
Yeah.
After we waited like 20 minutes for you.
That was my fault. But yeah, so we went. Oh, bruh. I think I told you guys about this, but like, okay, so Skagway is, like, yes, it's a tourist spot because that's where the ships stop. But there's people who are living their lives there. Like, they have to drive around and stuff. And these people, literally, I saw people standing in the middle of the road trying to get selfies and take pictures. And there's like cars coming. It's like, bruh, that's cool. Get out of the street, let the car pass, then you can go back and take your picture. Like, it's like,
so
bruh.
I will tell you, and I didn't include it in the video, but as we were walking around town, my wife and I came across a laundromat, and I was like, I want to see what kind of machines they got in here. So we went inside, and it's old machines, right?
Yeah.
And while we were in there, I was feeling a little peckish, and I was like, I want to grab a payday. I haven't had a payday in a minute, and we grabbed a couple of sodas. So we stepped outside, and I opened it up, and I go to take a bite of my payday, and I felt like I about damn near broke a tooth. I look at the wrapper, and it had expired like almost a year before.
Are you serious?
Oh no! Yes, I am absolutely serious. And the sodas were almost 6 months expired themselves.
Wow, that's horrible.
So yes, people are living their lives in Skagway eating bad paydays.
Yo, so I don't know if you there was a picture in there. So actually there's two pictures I want to talk about. One, there's like a lake that they have that actually, so that I guess they actually fill with fish. So like later on in the season, you can actually fish on this lake and you catch, fresh fish on it. This little pond they have out there. But secondly, there was a restaurant and it wasn't open, but it was called Northern Lights, Mexican and Italian. And I was like, huh? Like, how did those? I guess. I mean, if you're gonna, why specialize in one thing when you can specialize in a bunch of different stuff? So,
well, and it's probably the only Mexican restaurant, and it's probably the only Italian restaurant in town.
Yeah, and apparently the there's I don't remember the name of the brewery or whatever, but apparently that place was hopping, and the food was apparently on point. It was like there was a brewery like around down the way, but we went over there to check it out. I was with Kevin and his family, and we went to check it out, but it was like a 20-30 minute wait, and we were like, nah.
And yes, there was a Thai place as well.
Really?
Yes, there was.
Oh, must have missed that one.
Yeah, I think overall, and we'll get through the other ones as well, but I think Skagway was probably my favorite stop that we had outside of Victoria, but we'll talk about that in a minute. Yeah. As far as Alaska's concerned and an actual port of call, I think Skagway was probably my favorite.
Oh, we also spent the most time there. Well, there in Juneau, I guess, but
yeah. So next up would be Glacier Bay. However, I didn't have time to make a video for Glacier Bay, so I apologize. However, I do have this video to show you that we all got to experience.
Yeah.
Well, some of us got to experience.
Something else.
Yes, seeing that in person was, people use words for example, literal when something's not literal, or something is awesome when something's not awesome. This was awesome.
It was fascinating.
That to me alone made the day spent in Glacier Bay worth it. Like there was a lot of other cool
Hey,
things.
who was that video from?
So that was by a guy who was on the ship with us. Give me just a second. His name is Greg Rolfe.
All right. So thank you,
So-
Greg, for that video. That was pretty dope. Because like I tried, like I heard it, and it when I say I heard it, they call it white lightning. It's just the crack of the ice. I heard it, we heard it, and then like literally, like we turned, and it was like I was like, oh no, I want to get this on video, and I mean I missed that, and I got the some of the aftermath, but man, just seeing it in person was. You see it on TV and you're like, man, that's crazy. Seeing it in person, that is nuts.
Yeah, and as I said, I apologize. Don't have a video for that one. I'll make one, and we'll hopefully have it up next week. But Glacier Bay was impressive. We went to 3 different glaciers in the national park.
It was just very picturesque, the mountains and everything, and just like
yeah. Well, the other cool thing was that they opened up the bow of the ship for us to be able to go up there, which was cool. Snuck you into the Haven area so that you could come hang out and get some good photos.
Yeah, got some good photos up there. That's actually where we were able to see the glacier break off. So,
but there was a lot of wildlife as well, seeing seals and a lot of bird
people
life.
say they saw otters and stuff. I didn't see any otters. I saw seals though.
Yeah, I heard there were otters as well. I didn't see any. I just saw the seals.
Yeah.
But it was beautiful. It was picturesque. It was like I want to just go live there. You know what I mean? Like if I could just put my house in the middle of there and all of my supplies would come to me, like I would live there. Like it was just so amazing.
It was really nice.
Yeah. What do we got? Minor dynamite setup. Timing was almost too perfect. And yeah, Debbie is saying there were a lot of otters, and
yeah, I didn't see. I mean, I think somebody said there was otters. I saw like when we were sailing away from I did see I saw a bunch of seals playing around in the water.
Yeah, I love otters. I would have loved to have seen them, but I did not. I will also say that a lot of the time we were in Glacier Bay, I was deep engaged in conversation with a friend who came to visit that I had had a ton of time to catch up with, and you came by to do facial masks.
Yeah, that was fun times.
Yeah, so your and eye bag maintenance.
Yeah,
yeah, because your eye bags were on point on this cruise.
Sleepy.
So next up would be what would it be? Ketchikan?
Ketchikan. Kitchen,
right.
kitchen.
Here
As
comes
the comedian called it.
Here comes Ketchikan. So that's the place, the spot that Dwayne Johnson is named after.
Stupid.
The Rock.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, again, I was just Ketchikan. We were only there for like a few hours, which was kind of disappointing because I would have liked to see. I mean, there apparently like when I was talking to Mark about this, there wasn't a whole lot to do in the downtown area. It was like a 20-minute bus ride, and then you had to pretty much come right back. They did, however, in the I guess the port building or I guess best way to call it. They actually had like a flea market type setup in there.
Mm-hmm.
A bunch of shops, a bunch of they had like a little cafe.
I wouldn't call it a flea market because the stuff in there was not cheap.
I mean, like, it was cheaper than some place. Like, there was cheaper than some places that apparently, but yeah, they had a little setup going on, some music, if you will.
If you can call it that.
Yeah. Hey, they were having fun. That's all I can say. But yeah, no, it was kind of cool to see. Like we went out on my excursion. I had an excursion that day. That was my zip lining excursion.
Tell us about it.
Oh man, it was a lot of fun. I haven't done zip lines like these. I've done like some challenge courses and stuff like that in trees, but to like be zip lining through trees was amazing. Like these trees were pretty old, they've been there for quite some time. Just doing the little challenge course. Like I said, I have video of this stuff and I'll get them up. But the one of the main reasons I wanted to do this one is because one of the last zip lines goes over the water. Now it's not as cool as the picture made it look, but let me tell you, it was quite picturesque to just kind of be flying over this water. And then, one more time on the last zip line back to land before you're done. I will say, however, I saw pictures of people that did the, there was the hovercraft, I think was in Ketchikan. Bro, these videos were amazing. Apparently they were throwing like herring out of the open top, and eagles were coming down and swooping this stuff out of the water. Like, so people have videos of the eagles coming in just like mid flap, grabbing the fish and taking off. I was like, yo, that is amazing. Like, so if I ever go back there, I'm gonna have to do that
for sure.
That one, like those, just the videos alone, like I was like, yo, that is awesome.
And Debbie says she's got a video of that, so yes, please.
Oh yeah, awesome.
Please.
That'd be awesome.
She also mentioned that there were a lot of otters on the boat, on the ship, otter steaders.
Oh. Yes, that's very true.
Yuck. So after Ketchikan, and I don't have much to say on Ketchikan. It was a 20-minute bus ride into town. There was almost nothing open, and what was open was the same stuff: gift shops and jewelry shops.
Oh, I will tell you, the bus driver that we had to take us up to the place where they had the kayaks as well as the zip line. It was like her first day. Like she had been like doing the route, but it was like her first day on the bus. And when she was talking to us, she was telling us these like the little stories and stuff like that, which were great. But it very much reminded me of Star Tours, the original Star Tours. And like
with Rex,
it's my first time. I'm getting used to my programming. It's just like she was like, I know where I'm going. I made a wrong turn, so we'll be there in just a moment. Hold on. But she was really great. She was a really great driver overall. But yeah, that was just a fun little side piece.
Side piece. All right, Victoria.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
that's about how long we had in Victoria.
Hey, that dome building, what was that? Was that like a
That is
parliament?
their parliament or
That,
House of
okay.
Commons or whatever.
Whatever it is now. That's
Yeah.
cool. Okay. I was just wondering what that was. But yeah, no, we were, it was like, I swear we were there that long and then we were out. But
I got off the ship, and again, I had priority disembarkation with the Haven. I got off the ship at just before 8:30,
mhm,
and we were told we had to be back by like 11:30,
no.
11:45, I think.
Yeah.
So 3 hours at most.
Yeah. Honestly, like we talked about this earlier as well. The we should have like had less time in Juneau, less time in Skagway, and got to Victoria and spent more time there.
Debbie's biggest complaint was not enough time in Victoria.
Yeah.
I agree wholeheartedly. I would have liked more time in Ketchikan as well, and I would have liked for my excursion to not be canceled in Ketchikan.
Which one were you supposed to do in Ketchikan?
We were supposed to go canoe rowing and rainforest hiking.
They had that was just the canoe trip. Never mind.
So yeah, Victoria. From everything I heard and talking to other people, the only way it was worth it is if you did like the city tour. Otherwise, you probably didn't have enough time to see everything because unless you were paying for a cab or whatever, if you were walking into town, it was just over a mile to get into town. From
They
where
didn't
we
have shuttles.
No, not unless you had an excursion or unless you wanted to pay.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Wow.
That's gangster.
Yeah, so we walked and I hated it. I was not enjoying that at all.
Yeah.
It took 20, 30 minutes for us to get into that little downtown corridor. And once we were there, there wasn't a whole lot to do.
Yeah.
Wanted to go check out a gift shop there, but all the gift shops had lines pretty much out the door if you wanted to buy something. So it was like, why waste my time even looking? Because I'm not going to stand in this line to buy something.
Right.
So yeah, it was disappointing because I think there's probably a lot more there to do. It's definitely a spot I want to go check out at some point.
Yeah, it's really weird. Like one of the excursions they had there was like an escape room, and I was like, why would I come to Victoria to do an escape room? Like,
just to do something,
I guess. But I was just like, yeah, I didn't even. Well, also because that's the day we were drinking a lot, and I wasn't feeling too hot, and so I pretty much stayed on the ship. Anyways, there was stuff to do on the ship that I was just like, I would love to get off, but it was like, at that point.
Agreed. So final thoughts on the NCL Bliss, the ship. Let's finish off with just the ship. What did you think?
The ship is amazing. Like it is huge. There was a ton. Now I thought it was going to be as full because I mean, when we talked to Terry near the end, he was kind of the numbers that he was giving us seemed low balling, but like it seemed very full, at least on our trip. The elevators were lightweight frustrating at times. So I did a lot of stairs that trip, which wasn't so bad. Going up, I went from the 4th deck when we got on to the 12th floor where my room was, and that wasn't fun. But coming down was fairly easy. Getting around the ship, you kind of learned where stuff was, and so it was not as bad. A couple days in, but overall, very beautiful ship, great staff for the most part. A lot of things to do on the ship. Art auctions there when we were in open water, the casinos, and the little game shows they had during the day to keep people entertained. Just everything you could, pretty much most things you wanted to do, you could do. Oh, by the way, if you ever do this cruise, during the day, like randomly on the pool deck, they had chowder and some other soup. I forgot the name of it. And one day they had these seafood rolls. Oh my God. Those things were delicious. If you didn't have one, I'm sorry you missed out. but I had 2, and they were amazing.
Julie, we've got a ton more pics. We'll probably get them uploaded onto the Facebook page at some point in the near-ish future. We tried to really narrow it down. Some of them, such as Victoria, that's about
it.
And so, yeah. But I think for me, the Bliss, it lived up to what I was expecting. I had the Haven experience, obviously, where, it was first class. I had my own restaurant, my own bar, my own private oasis, if you will. So it was well worth the additional cost to stay in there. And I honestly don't know if I could ever see myself cruising not in something like that. I'm being honest.
Truthful, yeah, it's nice.
There were those couple of times where we went down to the buffet, and it was gross. The sea of humanity that was in there, and it's like, because when we would eat in the Haven, as you saw the time you ate, there's no more than like 5 tables in there at once.
Well, there was, when we got there, we were the only table, and then like some people showed up as we were finishing up. But yeah, no, like I feel you on that. And actually, one of the cool things is that apparently we became stars of karaoke, so that was a lot of fun.
Yes, that for sure. Having random, like even at the airport, having a person come up to me and like, "Hey, so if they give you the mic, you're gonna sing?" And I'm like,
"What?
Okay."
And then he pointed to me and they were like, "Hey, if they give you the mic, you're gonna sing." And I was like, and then I had one guy who was boarding the plane. He was on the same plane as us. He was like, "Hey, man, I love what you did with that. I love what you did with that song the other night." And I was like, "Yo, what? Oh, okay." Like there's people that would come up as we were walking around. I don't know. I don't know if it happened to you, but people would be like, "Hey, James," and I'd be like, "Hey, who are you?"
Yes. Well, and that's also because you're a terrible friend, but
That was for you. I didn't see you until like you said, "Don't listen to that guy. He's a liar."
I believe I called you a con artist.
Or con artist or something. I don't remember what you said.
Yes.
But yeah, I'm saying like that. I didn't see you until you had said that.
Yes,
So,
even though I was literally standing, and when I say literally, it's because I mean literally, I was standing right next to you.
yeah, I was engaged in a conversation, so I didn't see you. I apologize about that. I already apologized to you about that. So, but yeah, no, it was honestly like this is probably, I would say, like top 5 trips I've ever taken, and even that it's probably like top 2. And
Yeah,
1 and 2 can fluctuate.
Yeah, I would say this is probably the best trip I've taken. I would say before that it was probably Disney World, but it's and I don't
Apples
think
and
they're
oranges.
comparable. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
It's apples and
So
oranges.
I don't think I've been on any other trip that I could honestly compare this to. And just
Like I think as well, like for me, it's pretty much like when I did the Disney World and cruise, Disney cruise, and then this cruise, and those are probably like my 2 favorite trips. One, because the Disney World was right after graduation, and this was like just a fun time with hanging out with seeing everybody that we hadn't seen in a long time, and being able to kind of catch up, and just kind of, it was, you were free.
Yeah, it was definitely an interesting dynamic, considering we had almost 50 people on this cruise that were a part of our group, and there were some I never saw once. There were others that I saw way too much, like you. There were some that I saw
seeing me.
There were some that it would have been great to see more, but not you. So I think overall, it was nice because the ship was big enough that you didn't have to see people, but it was small enough that it was easy to see people.
Yeah, and we had a number of things that we planned out, like meeting up to eat and stuff like that. So that was a lot of fun. Just like I said, just being able to kind of chill and catch up. And I definitely would like to try. I'd like to go next time, get some more food credits to try some of the other dining options, like Q's and.
Or you could just do the Haven.
Well, yeah, but I mean that I don't want to. I don't want to. I don't want to get whatchamacallit. I don't want to be. I want to be able to sail without all the amenities. Because if I do that, then I'm gonna have to do it like every time, and I don't want to have to do that.
Well, for those of you watching that maybe for some reason aren't enjoying the game, there's less than 5 seconds left in the Warriors game. It's 123-116. The Warriors are winning.
Oh, okay.
So I'm fairly certain this game is over.
So we can go on to we'll go on to game. What is this? 5.
It'll be this is game 4. This is game 5. So we'll go on to game 6.
So we're going.
That'll be at home. They could win it at home.
Oh, so they're. Oh, yeah, it's 2-2 right now. So they go up. It'd be 3-2. Yeah, and they can win it at home. That'd be.
Yep, they can win it at home on Friday.
Well, yeah, we had. Oh, we didn't even do that this year, huh?
No, we did not do our NBA picks.
Yeah. Well. Oh well.
I guess we could do it after the first round, but
yeah, at that point we'll see. Because these games have apparently been pretty interesting. But
yeah. Any closing thoughts on the cruise, on the vacation, on
look, if you guys if you guys ever get the chance to do this cruise, if you weren't on this one, by all means make sure to plan it out, check it out. It's a very good time. They take very good care of you.
And check the itinerary because they have like 5 or 6 different itineraries.
Definitely check those out. That's so.
But I highly recommend Norwegian and the Bliss specifically.
Yeah, like and like I would love. I know I was talking with Andy about he's done Norwegian cruises like in the Caribbean and stuff like that, and he says it's always phenomenal. So that's good to hear that it's not just on this ship. So I mean, like Norwegian is a company that I would definitely be like, yo, get a group of people together, get a cruise consultant, and they help you get everything planned out. If not, just get it set up for you and your family, or you and a loved one, whoever, and just have a good time because it is a phenomenal time. Again, like Mark said, definitely check the itineraries because there are different itineraries, even for the same cruise that we were on. They spend more time in different places and so on and so forth. Mark explained that the reason that we picked that time that we did was because of his birthday, as well as just kind of when everything worked out for everybody. But yeah, no, definitely it was a highly recommend. Recommend.
And our next upcoming big adventure is to Disneyland.
Yeah.
The week before Thanksgiving. So November 12th through the 16th, we'll be hitting up the parks. So if you want to come hang out with your fat and black friend, we'll be in Anaheim, California, partying it up and enjoying time with the mouse.
Yep. That's always a good time. So the week before Thanksgiving will be a lot of fun. So join us. Come join us. If you enjoyed what we did last year, I mean, be a part of it this year. Or that was not last year.
That was 2 years ago, man.
I know, crazy. But yeah, hey, have a good one, guys.
Please, and don't forget Murder by Garlic, May 14th.
May 14th.
Sunday.
Just, you want to play it one more time on our way out?
Sure, why not? Bye.
This is me, Jack R. Abbott.
This is Nala, the French Quarter, for Christ's sake. Come on, Jack, it's hell out here.
Mr. Abbott?
I understand you're looking to find a good story about murder. Something that might possibly stimulate that criminal mind of yours just came my way.
Can I gather all the tenants together and pray?
Damn, Amelia. Kill her.
I'll be careful this time.
I knew you could do it.
Just like an old pro, huh?
You girls in berserkly for a fling after you check this place out, or can anyone join the party?
What's going on, Jack? Bonnie Brown has killed several dozen bad guys, and her partner a few dozen more.
Come on, Bunny. Last night you said you were built for action. I want to see what you got. Let's disappear in the bedroom.
Let's get out of here.
The boss is gonna be pissed.
I know. Murder by garlic.